Alright, this is my second use of the Jaded Corny pillar. What I do to sanitize my chiller is I use one of these like long garden boxes. They're really cheap, and if it breaks, you just go buy another one at Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever. But it's long and narrow, so you can put like dip tubes from kegs and other stuff inside there, and the Corny pillar happens to fit in there beautifully. And then what I did is, because I'm brewing in my garage with a tiny amount of space, basically I have a hose and I have one of these little plastic like valves to open and close it, and I've got the pressure on really high right now with the valve closed. It's sanitizing right now, and basically I'm going to take this and put it in my keg right here and run the water, and I'm going to collect it in these couple of buckets. And basically right now we are at 176 degrees. Our target chill temperature is 65, which I can get to that, but about 67 here in Seattle, Pacific Northwest water in spring. 60, we'll say 68, 67 is easy to get to. 65 is actually some work. So I'll go ahead and put this thing in the Corny, and we will kick it on full blast, catch all the water, and see how fast this thing drops, because it is pretty quick. So I'm going to take the Corny pillar out. A little bit of Star Sand dripping there. I'm going to put it in this hot keg all the way down as far as it goes. I'm going to take the exit hose here. I'm going to put it in my bucket. And then I'm going to turn this valve on, and let's see if it's a calamity or not. So that water is now coming out, and the hose is getting soft. And let's see here. My timer says 2 minutes and 10 seconds right now. This temperature on the Pico Zymatic does not update super fast. It takes, I want to say like 5 to 10 seconds between readings or something like that from what I can tell. But this should start dropping, 170. So it dropped to multiple degrees that time. 166, so yeah, it's dropping fast. And we're what, maybe a gallon or two of water. 161. So what I'll do, because I'm in the garage, is normally I might run a longer hose off of this and run all the way out to the driveway, but since I have two buckets, I'll just switch from one bucket to the other and get the hose deep down in there so it's not going to fly out and get water everywhere. And I'll just take this bucket and run it over to the driveway and pour it out. In 1 minute, we have dropped, what is that, like 30 degrees already, according to the Pico Zymatic. Yeah, so I think we're at about 3 gallons of water right now that we're running. My Jaded Hydra cools a little faster, but there's a lot more surface area, and the hoses going in and out are garden hose inner diameter, so there's just a lot more water moving in that amount of time. A lot more surface area. 131. So at this point, so the bucket's not too heavy, I'd go ahead and move this to the other bucket, like this, and I'd put it down in there deep so that's not going to come out. And the water already feels a lot cooler. 124, 122, so I'm going to take this bucket, just go dump it in the driveway, like that, because I'm lazy. And then I'll go take it inside, and we'll come back to 117 degree water, and maybe another gallon. Something else I do is that I've noticed the side of this keg, even though the wort is getting cool really fast, the keg is staying hot. So when the water starts coming out cool enough, I actually put my keg in a bucket, and I put the water in there just to help cool the metal, because I believe these kegs are kind of like, probably not, I'm probably wrong, but thermally insulated. 109. Not that much water in the second bucket yet.
first alarm on the microwave to check bubbles?
10 minutes, yeah.
So it's
2 more minutes or so, yeah. So yeah, basically I just fill up this bucket, a couple of gallons, then switch back to this bucket, and this water's probably already feeling, yeah, it already feels really cool just because it's the rate that it's going is so fast. So I'll go ahead and put this water in this bucket just to help cool down the keg, because the keg is hot, still really hot to the touch. You know, I'm sure some real engineer with their laws of thermodynamics will tell me something about metal, and how it transfers energy, but basically, I imagine this helps a little bit. We're at 100 degrees. If my autofocus would work, 99, 98. There we go. So there's enough water in this bucket now that we're probably good. I'm gonna go back to this one. Back to my empty bucket. Shove the hose down there a little bit so it doesn't go flying out. And then I can move this half-full bucket if I want to, just so that we're keeping up with the water that we're using to chill. But it's already pretty darn cool to the touch, so that last 20 or 30 degrees just takes a while. And I think it just has to do with the flow rate of the Pico Zymatic too. Picobrew Zymatic, you know, I think it's like a gallon a minute or something like that of wort that it's moving. So it's not crazy fast. It's not like my March pump, which is just churning that beer or that wort really quickly. 89 degrees. I'm sure for anyone who does the overnight no-chill method, this seems extremely fast, and for a normal person who uses, I guess not a normal person, but someone using an immersion chiller, this is relatively fast. This is pretty normal speed for a good immersion chiller. As you can see up there, I've got my Jaded Hydra and my 4-tap system, my sweet little cart that I built from Amazon for like 40 bucks that holds my Zymatic. Bunch of extra kegs over here, and then just all my homebrew stuff, my homebrew computer that I don't use on Zymatic brew days, just because I can do everything on my phone that I really need to do. Alright, so this will be the 3rd bucket of water. They're not full, remember, but this will be my 3rd bucket of water that I'm going to move. And probably by the 4th bucket, it'll be just about done. I even start to slow down the flow of water because it's just not transferring heat as fast anymore. So I'm probably wasting water already at the 3rd bucket here. I'm gonna guess that's like 12 or 13 gallons of water I've used. This is the beauty right here of using the valve that I'm using. This little valve, you can just start to close it a little bit, and you can slow down the flow. So let's go ahead and slow it down just a little bit. It's still going, just not nearly as fast now. And maybe the water coming out will heat back up. I've also got the little stand for the corny pillar, but you know, basically it's not sanitary right now. So when I'm done, I'll throw it back on there. But like until then, it's just kind of hanging out waiting for me. We are at, I believe, 7 minutes. And we are at 76 degrees already. So probably another minute or two and we'll be just about at our pitch temperature. I also don't ferment in these kegs. I just brew in it and then I transfer it to one of my mini carboys somewhere with the sanitized funnel and everything. Just because it's, I don't know, it's easier to do, and if I use a big carboy like this one over here, like this 5 or 6 gallon, then it just makes it so that I don't even have to worry about a blow off tube, because there's so much space that with a crazy high Krausen it still doesn't, you know, blow up or anything or clog up my airlock. But let's see here. I think we're about to come up on 8 minutes or so of chilling. we're at 73. And I've slowed down the pace of the water considerably. Like, I probably won't even have to empty this bucket until I'm done chilling now. So, yeah, at this point, it becomes a lot slower, but that's just because, you know, I'm trying to shave off that last 5 degrees. So I'll probably end the video here. Maybe I'll go till it's been one more full minute, but 72, that's pretty fast. So I highly recommend this chiller. It works great for chilling inside of a corny keg, and honestly, it would probably work pretty well for some other applications. Like, I'm thinking, I don't know, like, say you don't want to use your counterflow chiller on, like, your on any of your, like, tall garbage can looking brewing systems. I think there's one by, like, Williams Brewing, or maybe it's More Beer now. And then also we've got the one out of Australia whose name is escaping me right now. But my friend uses it for brewing in an apartment, and it's a nice system. But clogging up that counterflow chiller is a huge pain in the butt. And if you're using an immersion chiller like this, you wouldn't have that problem. Alright, 70 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and let this run for like 1 or 2 more minutes off camera, and then I'm going to pitch. Thanks for watching.